Welcome to this video. Perfect storm and a much older, larger perfect storm. According to the CDC, in the year 2020 we humans landed in a perfect storm. I claim that as early as since the early 1990s, we are in front of a much larger perfect storm. Humans experienced a visible drop in life expectancy after 1992, and after that drop in 1992 the impressive, uninterrupted, angle up of the life expectancy line, we knew until 1982 never recovered. The latest unprecedented drop unfolded in 2018, and until to date, consensus does not point to a reason nor to the impact of it, and not even to the drop itself. The impressive angle up of the life expectancy we knew until 1982 represents the end of the very impressive, but in retrospect temporarily angle up of the life expectancy we knew since the golden ages of antibiotics and modern medicine miracle that had started 54 to 34 years earlier, in 1928 to 1948. Health organizations, WHO, also claim that since the early 1990s plague and tuberculosis re-emerge, and I claim this coincides with rising AMR, with that also pointing out there is an association. I claim we humans need to learn from our ancestors, which are the Amazon Amarins, and we will also need to get our ancestors right, if we really want to overcome this decline, crises, storms and possible demise. Amarins were thriving. Over 5,000 years ago the Amarins were still thriving. The humans at large had larger brains, and suffered significantly less heart and brain degeneration. Humans also suffered less disease in general, and less or no epidemics. Plague and tuberculosis existed, but never had taken epidemic proportions. The Amarins, and consequently all humans, still formed a global and massive haplogroup, QM242, Queen Mario 242, because this group had left the Americas, and after conquering the Americas they also occupied, and possibly conquered, Eurasia, with Europe as one of the latest, mainly through the Ob and Yenisei rivers and entry. From the standpoint of survival and existence, the biggest hurdle between the Americas and the rest of the world is mainly large areas with permafrost, this because of the cold, but also and probably most, because it does not produce permanent rivers that can hold fish. Fresh water and fish are essential for the circle of life. The not yet hybridized Amarins, with their very high resistance, RBC, conquered Eurasia and later Europe and formed all of the most ancient cultures. Some of the most ancient cultures are not verified, so I mention the Indus Valley culture as a reference. Why we suffer where the Amarins thrived. How can we modern humans be in front of unseen, perfect storms, when long ago the Amarins thrived so much? And how can their descendants, like that Semaine, still present exceptional heart and brain health even while they live in some of the supposed worst health conditions, with effectively high inflammation markers, that for modern humans are the markers of bad and deteriorating heart and brain health? One can only explain this by claiming they had or did something that we do not have or do anymore. The most important destruction, collapse and extinction, had taken place already 12.8 thousand years ago and before. However, humans were affected only starting 4 to 5 thousand years ago. The difference between 12.8 thousand years ago and before on one side, and 4 to 5 thousand years ago and after on the other side, is that the human genome was replaced in a global population turnover event only 4 to 5 thousand years ago. So the most perceivable was and is the replacement of the Amarins, and not the total destruction 12.8 thousand years ago, that was seen as necessary by the all-destructive conquestors, American Inca-like imperium, to conquer and populate the world with us modern humans or us modern hybrids. Possibly the first movement by the destructive and turnover imperium, the hybrids, was coming from the east via the North Pacific gyre and current, and diving away from and under the main routes the Amarins, coming from the north, had taken before. The hybrids had better chances to come in by boat, by the rivers east of Ob and Yenisei. The Amarins had been limited to use these routes because of frozen Arctic and more permafrost during the whole of the ice ages. The hybrids, us modern humans, would turn over and or reinforce the now displaced advanced hybrids, the modern humans of East and Southeast Asia, of Sunderland and Seoul. Depending on the form of turnover applied by the hybrids would increase their population, if they would spare, and invite, the women of the Amarins, former less hybridized populations, and ancient cultures. This is the end of this video, thanks for watching. Please give a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Giving a thumbs up is also a way to know if you already assisted a certain video. We hope to see you in our next video.